I've been looking at all these amazing tomatoes that we have in season now for summer, and these Campari tomatoes were just so beautiful. And I wanted to do a broiled or grilled tomato, but I don't have much luck doing it on the grill, and I didn't want to turn on the oven, so I thought, let's try stovetop. So I just put some olive oil in here and got it heated, and I have the tomatoes cut in half and cut side down to start. And I have about 3 whole garlic cloves. The garlic cloves I left whole intentionally. I want them to season the oil, but I also don't want them to cook too fast. If I dice them up, they would cook very fast and potentially burn. So I'm leaving them whole. And then I'm gonna make a cucumber salsa to spoon over these tomatoes with some fresh herbs. And I thought I could dice up that nice, soft, golden garlic to go into the cucumbers. So these are about halfway done. I'm really going for something that looks like they've been under the broiler or in the grill, on the grill, and I think that is just right. I want them to have a little char and have that lovely sweetened flavor. And I'm doing this on about medium to medium high heat. You can adjust. I could add a little more oil too. It's starting to get a little dark, and I reduced the heat because I don't want it to burn or break down. And I'm just tilting the pan and spooning this lovely garlic oil over the tomatoes. I'm gonna start this cucumber salsa by just removing these garlic cloves from this pan. I took it off the heat, and the tomatoes pretty much finished off the heat because the pan had enough residual heat to just get the bottoms a little blistery without being too squishy. They still have some nice body to them. And I'm gonna slice these cucumbers, top and tail, cut them in half and quarter, and just do a really small dice. I love these Persian cucumbers because they have great flavor and not a lot of seeds. The harder it is to push through with a dull knife, the more you're going to risk going through a finger. And that's why I always say a dull knife is not a safe knife. So again, I'm quartering these. First I topped and tailed, which means taking the ends off. And now I'm squaring them up, and I'm using my knuckles forward and my thumb back here to hold them in place. And as I slice through, I'm moving my fingers back. So every time I move my fingers, if I can turn it this way, you can see. Every time I move my fingers back, I make a slice, and that's how I keep them consistent. It's good to try and get the sizes all uniform. For one, when you're eating it, you don't have a big chunk and a little bite. You have all consistent sizes. Also, if it's something that you're cooking, you want them to all cook evenly. So by slicing everything uniformly, you'll always have nice even cooking, not little pieces burning and big pieces not finished yet. Now I'm just gonna mash these, and you can see they're nice and soft. They have a little bit of char on them, which is really gonna be delicious in this salsa. And I'm being a little gentle mashing them because they're pretty soft. They cooked perfectly. And I'm going through that little bit of crust that developed too. I think that's gonna give it a nice texture. And just almost making a paste with this. It just smells amazing. It's caramelized and it's nice and soft, and there's some delicious oils coming out forward that I'm gonna scoop up. I'm just gonna move these tomatoes to a serving dish because I wanna use this oil in my salsa. Just that little bit is all we need, and it's gonna have this delicious garlic and tomato flavor. Now I have some fresh herbs, some mint, parsley, and dill. Mint is actually really delicious with cucumber, and so is dill. Very Mediterranean, very Greek. stir this, get that garlic all distributed in. And this would be excellent if you did it the day before, so those flavors really had a chance to meld together. I think I'm going to add a little bit of lemon. Don't want to waste any of the herbs. It just smells so fragrant and delicious already. Some coarse salt, and a tiny bit of pepper, and I'm going to do the coarse salt on the tops of these tomatoes as well. Now I can just spoon this over these tomatoes, and I think that just looks like summer on a plate. Gonna have that nice golden garlic flavor with the fresh herbs and the crunchiness of the cucumbers. I think that looks delicious. I hope you try it. The recipe will be on the blog in the next day or two. And don't forget to look for me on livingdeliciousnutrish.com and Living Delicious Nutrish on all social media. Thanks.